It's here, what's up? I'm the grown kid and welcome back to the talk show. It's here, the Game Awards finally got announced for 12/10/20 and I'm super excited. If you remember a few videos ago, I was looking for information about it, couldn't really find any, and I can't wait to vote for all of the categories, especially the Game of the Year slot, with my picks being Ghost of Tsushima or Cyberpunk 2077. Now, we really do have to talk about Cyberpunk 2077. The recent news about the games has a chance to possibly hurt its Game of the Year contention, as well as asking the question, is it going to be in contention at all? Because it comes out November 19th, it is less than a month away from the actual awards, so we don't know how that's really going to be factored in yet. When is voting going to start? When is voting going to end? I'm not sure, but to me it seems like it will make it, but you never really know. So that is something to consider when we're going to be talking about the Video Game Awards for 2020. I am just super excited for it, and I really want you to know about it. Before we get into the video, I did beat Watch Dogs 2, and I really asked myself what was the point. It did not really grab me the way I thought it would have. Maybe Watch Dogs 1 will if I decide to go back and play that, and after playing Watch Dogs 2, I am really now on the fence about Legion, because if it's just gonna be more of the same of that, I don't know if I need to play it, honestly, so we're gonna have to see. I've also started a game called Observation that I'm really finding fascinating, that should be a movie or a series or fucking something, because it is that engrossing of a video game. I'm really loving that. As well, streams are coming, just getting a few things more set up, so look forward to that, because I know I am. And I just really had to make this video. I did drop a video today. Here's the thumbnail. The title speaks for itself. I really put a lot of time and effort into that video. I did get held up on a couple projects I did for a friend who did a marathon run for a good cause, so I helped them edit that video, as well as a few other projects. So the video I released today did get a little bit delayed, but with all of that out the way, let's talk about Cyberpunk 2077, and oh my god, this is terrible news.
Yo, it's the Grown Kid Talk Show. Yo, it's the Grown Kid Talk Show. Yo, Grown Kid Talk Show. Yo, it's the Grown Kid Talk Show.
So for those that follow the channel, obviously I definitely like to make some thumbnails and definitely have fun with it, and this is CD Projekt Red right in the middle eating his soup, and then we have a bullshit whiny fan on the left and a bullshit whiny fan on the right pointing guns at our poor CD Projekt Red, who has no choice this time but to take the L. Hold this L, CD Projekt Red, because the news is terrible I'm about to share with you. This comes from Games Radar, so we're just gonna give the highlights and I'm gonna fill you in on the rest. Cyberpunk 2077 story will be slightly shorter than The Witcher 3 following complaints from players, by Vicky Blake 3 days ago. You see, tremendous amounts of people played through that game really far, but never made it to the end in terms of The Witcher 3. Now I'm going to pose a question to you and the people over at CD Projekt Red. Do you think George R. Martin, do you think the writer of Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling, do you think they give a shit about how long they make their thing and if you decide to finish it? Do you think they cater their stuff to you, the person who does not have the time to finish the game, as if that is their problem? No, they don't. And in fact, if you look at something like Harry Potter, it only got longer as it kept going. This is so sad for CD Projekt Red to do. Now, I understand the complaint. You want players to finish your game because you believe you have a great story. All I care about is the developers doing their vision, and it is so ironic because Cyberpunk 2077 and CD Projekt Red was one of the divisions who literally was going fuck you, fuck that, we're doing what we want. Literally everything up until this story was Cyberpunk and CD Projekt Red was doing whatever it wanted to do and telling its story. The fact that we now have them caving into whiny players, and the fact that the person went slightly shorter is probably bullshit. It's probably a lot shorter, and that's a real shame. Secondly, and the biggest thing, you're using statistics that people didn't finish your game to then decide how to make your second game. And I am all for that. Don't get me wrong. All of that is very important. But length of the game is not shown in the statistics at all. I don't care if they didn't finish it. They have their own reasons they didn't finish it. Like I said before, do you think they care when they write their book that you didn't finish it because it was too long? They don't give a shit. I'll tell you what kind of industry does give a shit about that stuff. Movies. You think Quentin Tarantino cares about Hateful Eight, how long that shit was? No, he didn't give a fuck. And it's still a great movie to this day. That's the thing. When you make something great, and that always comes with a price. And it's just so sad CD Projekt Red caved in here to whiny ass gamers. I don't give a fuck what the stats say. Make what you want, which you were doing up until this point and were praised for, and now all of a sudden that has changed. I really do think that this could hurt CD Projekt Red's and Cyberpunk 2077's chances to win Game of the Year, because a story like this didn't come out with Ghost of Tsushima. That was my update / rant on Cyberpunk 2077. So let's move into the last news update for today, the Tokyo Game Show. The Tokyo Game Show starts tomorrow and it runs to the 27th, I believe, and this is super excited. I'm gonna take you through a little bit of the website here and mention some of the things I am personally really excited and expecting to see. Tokyo Game Show is really a place for the gamers, considering there was really no E3 this year, so one big event with everybody who can kind of come is going to feel refreshing and nice. I'm not really going to go over the streaming schedule and hit all of these blocks here. Just know that Japan has a Game Awards, and I'm wondering if maybe we should cover that on the channel maybe, or talk about it, or at least watch it and go over some of the choices, see if I played a couple of those games. But obviously you can see some of the big names here like Sega and Atlus, and there's a rumor going around that Sega might be bought out by Microsoft because Microsoft is just buying everything now. So the tagline is, how do you watch it? Well, it's all online this year, so you're going to be watching it in streams, the YouTube channel, Gamatsu. Gamatsu's really dope. If you've never heard of it, it's really dope, so check that out. Depending on your time zone as well, this is going to be a little hectic because it is strictly in Japan, so everything's catered to that audience. So sometimes you're going to have to wake up at 7 a.m. over here to watch something. So I only grabbed a couple titles that I'm really excited about. One is Ghostwire Tokyo. I'm actually really interested to see more about this game because I'm kind of on the fence about it. I need a little bit more to see if this is something I really want to take a chance on and gamble with. We also have Nier Replicant, which apparently is a remaster of the first game, and I got in at Automata, which obviously was a great game, and I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Replicant. Is this going to be a remake like they did with Final Fantasy VII? I am hoping it is. Or is this going to be a really good remaster like a Resident Evil 2? But I'm hoping for the best here and that it is on the scale of a Final Fantasy VII remake. The other thing is Village. Capcom is making a huge comeback and push with Village. I love the idea of Village because I was someone who played Biohazard really as my first Resident Evil. Obviously I dabbled in the other ones, but it was really my first, and I really love the idea of telling that Elseworld, Twilight Zone type of story in Resident Evil, and Village really looks like they're going that direction because there's things in the game from what I've seen and heard from other people that isn't in a normal classic Resident Evil, probably because games like The Last of Us are stealing stuff from Resident Evil, so it's actually really good that they're switching it up. So that is definitely something I'm excited for, as well as, of course, the Square Enix Sony booth showing off possibly new Final Fantasy 16 footage. I myself thought that we weren't going to get the 16 footage at the PlayStation event, we were going to get it at TGS, so I'm expecting something there, even though that trailer was so long and packed. I'm happy about that, so maybe not more information needs to be shown just yet, even though I think maybe a little bit more would be nice, talking to the director and seeing some of the thoughts there. And then my long shot pick, Persona 6, because Persona 5 was really good, and I think Royal was really just a cash grab, honestly, and I don't like really seeing that from companies. I don't really think there was a need to do it with Persona 5 because it was such a great game. Turn-based, brought it back, that nostalgia core of it, and the story is what really had you, and obviously that M rating. That M rating goes a long way into making a video game really good. So I'm really hoping that Persona 6, the long shot here, might get some coverage or a trailer or a reveal or something, because I do really love the Shin Megami Tensei series. That's my Tokyo Game Show coverage. Let me know what you're most hyped about. And that's all I've really had today. Cyberpunk, you let me down. You let me down hard. Thank God the Video Game Awards got announced, and I can't wait to watch a few trailers and discuss them with y'all later in the week after the Tokyo Game Show. I'm the grown kid. I know I talked a lot. I definitely rambled. I hit a rant in there. I definitely hit a rant. I'm GK, and I'll catch you back in another video.
Yo, it's the Grown Kid Talk Show.